Please welcome Allison Scott. Allison, welcome and thank you for joining the Reset News. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine, and I'm Alison Scott, known as Dr. Laser. Many of you might see me on the YouTube. It's talking about certain things that I have discovered, and I would like to also help the public with it to let them know what is happening what is happening to them also that they know not of.
That's right. When we met about 2 years ago, I was also doing our research for the Reset News, and you shared some of the things that you have experienced and the side effects and the harms that it has caused to you. Can you share some of those side effects and harms for the discoveries that you found?
Yes, I have discovered there is a EMF. Maybe a lot of people is not acquainted with it, but the EMF is a thing that destroys people indoors and outdoors. I also discover driving on the buses, on the street cars, on the train, that they also have EMF with these electric cars that is built in within them, and it's also destroying our people. And most of all, the quietness, they call it the secret weapon that is hidden in the houses and in the apartment. A lot of people don't know what is happening to them. All sicknesses comes from lasering, and lasering meaning that somebody next door, somebody up above you is lasering you, is being paid to laser you and destroy you. Many family has been destroyed. Many people has been destroyed. The government, many people are waiting on the government to do something.
Let me go in right there. When you say the people are being destroyed and this all causes
Yes.
diseases, what qualifications and background do you have
Qualification.
to confirm that these are what you claim is happening? And please describe what it means by saying electromagnetic, or excuse me, please
Yes.
explain the EMF so others
The
understand.
EMF is electromagnetic frequency mind control weapon that is destroying people. This is a thing that the doctors cannot help you with. All sicknesses, when it burn your
Before you say that with all sicknesses, because it's a big statement to say, let's take it to your personal experience. What did you experience as a result of these EMFs, and how long
Yes,
did you realize it
my
began?
body was being burnt, and I used to run from places to places, different different apartment, trying to see if I could get away from it. Then I have discovered that it is a thing that built in the houses and built in the apartment. It comes through the ceiling, it comes through the walls, and it also comes through the flooring. And this is the thing that is happening to our people. Many people does
When you
not
say our
know.
people, excuse me, Pastor Scott, Dr. Laser, when you say our people, what do you mean exactly?
Not only, not when I say our people, I mean overall, people in general.
Mm-hmm.
It haven't got any differences
Mm-hmm.
for others. We are all one set of people. We are all one. And this thing is destroying each and every one of us. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be prime minister. I think he's even been.
Don't, we're going to think about what type of solutions have you sought to implement to help with what you've experienced, and what are you looking for from those, from either
Well,
corporations or
well, I
elected
does a lot of
officials?
studies, and I comes up with a lot of things that, especially for one thing that I discovered that is good for your teeth when the laser burn off your jaw, ear. It affects your gum, it affects your teeth, and this is where you end up at the doctor, and the doctor plugging out your teeth,
So
and
you
you
feel
don't
then that some
understand.
of the medical industries are helping to enhance further
Yes,
sicknesses.
I think so.
In 2022, and I met you a bit after you submitted this letter, you shared with me that you wrote all three levels of government about your experience, and you mentioned about being targeted, you mentioned about your license being taken away. Has there been any result from this letter that you've submitted?
No, I haven't heard back. I know that the Prime Minister has taken but the letter to the Queen when he was on the way to the war-stricken place that Russia were
Are you talking
destroying.
Ukraine?
Yes, yes. And he took it there first before she died and talking about that the local is finding out about the plans and what should he do. Our word were that he must go with the flow. So that's what he's doing. He's going with the flow. Doesn't matter how many people are crying and talking about it and getting to him.
Have you followed up with the Prime Minister? And what other levels of government did you reach out to? Has anyone contacted you?
No, none haven't. Tory was in power at that time. I sent a letter to him also.
And who else?
I sent a letter to Doug Ford also. And up to this year, about in July, August, yes, I also sent a letter again to Trudeau. I think he was in Paris at the time, but the connection of the connection of the connection, they sent it to them and they sent back word stating that they will be looking at it and I will be okay.
Has anyone contacted you since then?
No, no one has contacted me.
Now, I want to clarify, if you can clarify to the public within the letter. You mentioned that this is possibly part of an elite, and you mentioned a Jewish elite group of individuals. You've mentioned something about the Holocaust, and you've mentioned something from the pit of hell.
No.
When you address this letter, can you clarify for the audience whether so that you're not construed as maybe projecting?
Yes.
Can you clarify where you stand in your statement
In
when
my
you mention
statement,
that?
when I mention it, it's that they were talking about the Jews is doing and the Jews is doing a lot of things. And I tell them that they have been through all of this, the Holocaust and all these things, so they are lying against the Jews. This is my statement in that letter.
So, would you say that you're friends of the Jewish community as well, along with everyone else, and that no one is to, take your letter to be represented in any derogatory particular fashion?
Yes, one of my doctor that I had, he now retired in his rights. He have retired in December there. He took the letter. He said to me, "Oh my God, you're a prophetess. Oh, did you know all of these?" So I told him that the Lord opened up my eyes and let me see. Even the walls are full with holes that the ceiling, that the laser coming through. Right, because all the buildings is being built that way, that is supposed to come through to destroy people, and many people are being paid to destroy people quietly in their houses, in their apartment, and anywhere they are, even in the library, here or wherever. People are being destroyed.
So, Pastor Scott, you have shared a lot in terms of with me as well personally, much of which we have not gotten into this segment as yet. We will have a part 2 where you can go into many things that you've experienced, including the mental hospital, and your experiences there, which we will get into. But for this segment, as we wrap up, what is it that you're seeking in terms of solutions and resolutions at this time? There is an election being called provincially. There is the federal government that is dissolved, set aside for now until March. So a lot of people, elected officials, are not in their seats or in the capacity to do certain things. What are you going to be seeking and from whom at this time? And then when parties return back to their seats, what are you seeking from them?
I'm seeking for them to also pay attention to what is happening to the people. Not only want to be in a seat that they are claiming that they are helping people, when people are suffering, when people are being destroyed by laser burn, in their houses and in their apartment and into the little places that they even go, even in the buses, as I mentioned before, the streetcars and the subway.
So to wrap
These-
this up in this first session,
Mhm.
you're saying in a lot of spaces and places, from the Toronto Public Library to maybe even your office, to streetcars, TTC, to your home,
Yes,
it is
your home.
projected and being emanated in many ways.
In
this
many
radio
ways.
frequency, electromagnetic
Yes.
frequency.
Has
And you're
been.
saying that it has potential to cause other diseases, which we will get into later.
Yes.
What can you share in just 3 quick tips that others can take to keep themselves safe once listening to this? What can they do?
Yes. There's a paint by the name of Y-Shield paint. They make it in black. That's the only thing that can help us. You can use that paint. Go online. It's sell it at Amazon. You just go online and look up for the paint that can help protect you from the laser or radiation or from the EMF. And you will find that paint. You will also find someone advertising and also demonstrating how to paint that place of yours and to protect you. I would suggest, if you can't, if it's not your house or not your apartment, you can just only paint the bedroom, because that is at nights they burn your house more drastically. This is the time they burn your house because you're asleep and your body is prone to it, so you're not feeling it as you should. You're sleeping and they are destroying you minute by minute.
Wow. Allison Scott, thank you so much, Pastor Scott and Dr. Laser, for what you've shared right now. We will be having another part 2 where you can get into further details of a lot of your discoveries and findings. But what you've shared today with the Reset News has been profound information to share with the public. Thank you
Okay.
for joining us today.
Okay, thank you too.